Hi there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. It's Monday night and we are back at Monday night Q&As. It's been a very long time and I didn't intend to make it quite so long, but once you give up a routine, sometimes it's hard to get back in. So we're gonna dive in and we're gonna dive in with the basics because that's really the best place to start. It's been a very long time since I've even gotten to do a workshop. So that's the other reason that I thought we would start with the basics too. And it's so fun to see folks already jumping in. So Beverly, I'm happy to wave back at you there. Always glad to have folks join in. So the way that this works, if you've never joined in on our live Q&As, because it has been a year and a half, easy, ask questions, whatever questions you have. I also always bring a plan of what we're going to talk about. So I have my plan of everything that I hope we can get through tonight, talking about how to cut your grocery budget, but I'm always happy to answer questions too. So we're gonna dive in on that. And with the basics, I do wanna start kind of at the very beginning. And the first thing is knowing what store to shop at. And I don't mean like what store around town, because if I were to start to be like, you only need to shop in this store, 100 people would start yelling at me, right? We all have our favorites. You have your store that's working for you because it's the closest, or some of you, it's the only store and you hate it the minute I tell you to go somewhere else. We're not going to go there. I'm not going to tell you a specific store to be in, but I do want to set you on a road to be in the right place. So the best way to look at this, if you're brand new, or a reminder for those of us that are old, if you eat it, it should come from a grocery store. And if you cannot eat it, it should come from a drugstore. So this means your paper goods, your cleaning supplies, your makeup, your personal care. Those are drugstore purchases. Now I know some folks cringe at the drugstores, but in all the years that I've been couponing, and guys, Southern Savers will be 17 this year, and I've been couponing longer than Southern Savers has been around. In all the years that I've been couponing, the drugstore game is still hot. So you may feel like, oh, there are so less coupons in the newspapers or things have really changed. They haven't in the drugstores. I had a fun day today in CVS. So I do encourage you. Drugstores for the things that we're not eating, grocery store for the things that we are. So that's the first big basic to make sure that you're getting the best prices that you possibly can. And again, so glad to see so many of you. I am glad that you missed them. I missed being here too. But I will say for the time that we were gone, it was what our family needed. So it is good to be back. So, and I'm glad it's perfect timing for you, Linda Lee. It's always a good time to jump back in to saving. So let's jump out of that. We're not going to focus on drugstores tonight. We're going to focus on grocery stores, but I at least wanted us to know where we should be for those different items. So in the grocery store, whatever grocery store that you pick, we do need to realize that there are some stores that have a promotional model, meaning there are sales. There are sales cycles. There are things that I need to understand to get the best sale there. And then there are sales that don't have a promotional model. And those are very different. So this is another can of worms that I've learned through the years. So I'm not going to attack anybody's Aldi, but you do need to understand, if you're an Aldi shopper, there's not a sale there. Aldi will technically have things that are their special buy prices this week, but they're not really on a discount. Their promotional model is to have very low prices. Will those low prices beat a sale price in a grocery store? No. And that's the part that Aldi people don't like to hear, but it's true. So I just need you to know that. If you want to choose the Aldi, I don't have to follow sales method, you can. There's two problems with being 100% Aldi though. There's really one. You can't. You cannot be 100% Aldi. They don't sell everything that you need. Now, if you have managed to only shop at Aldi for like the last year and never need to go in a grocery store, I think that you deserve a major gold star. I just don't think that it's humanly possible. I'd love for you to prove me wrong. Go for it. I know somebody will in the comments. But for 99% of us, we cannot 100% shop in Aldi. So you're still going to have to go in that other store. It's still helpful to understand how that other store is going to work, right? So I have some dear friends. They live like 2 miles from us out in the woods. We're like fellow farm buddies. They also have 5 girls, so I feel like we are living very similar lives, and yet they are my Walmart Aldi folks, and no matter how hard I try, I've given up. We're just going to let them be Walmart Aldi folks. There's no sale there. You guys just need to understand that. So when I say, hey, I shop at Publix, they kind of freak out. How can you afford that? Because if I understand how the sales work, I can do that. So that's where we all need to, realize, is Publix expensive or Lowe's Foods? That would be the big one in my area that people are like, ooh, you shop at Lowe's Foods. I do if I understand what I'm in there for. So let's go there. Let's talk promotional models in those grocery stores that are running sales that you feel are crazy overpriced. That's because they are, but we're not going to go in for everything that is in Publix this week. And if you catch me in Lowe's Foods, I don't even get the big buggy. I feel like Lowe's Foods should just get rid of the big buggies because anyone that is smart should only use the little tiny buggy in that particular store. But with promotional model, we're really focusing on just what is on sale this week in the store. I am not focused on what I need. I'm not really even focused on my meal plan. I'm focused on what is on sale and only the things that are on sale, and that's what's in the buggy. Now, that does not work from week 1. So if you are brand new to saving money and you're wanting to try to get full in on groceries, I cannot just walk in and say, you know what, don't care that we don't need toilet paper, not buying it. That doesn't work, guys. So week 1, we still have some things we need. And maybe we're going to head to Walmart. We're going to head to Aldi. We are going to get that low price on those things we need. It's the best we can do. They're not on sale this week. But what I am going to do is head in and focus on what is on sale in that particular store that I picked. Get all the things that are on sale that week and get enough to last you until they are back on sale. And that's the key part. Sale cycles in the Southeast run on a 6 to 8 week sales cycle. Outside of the South, that sales cycle is almost a 10 to 12 week sales cycle. So hopefully you live in the South. If not, you should move, right? That would be the answer to that one. No, you'll figure it out. But typically what I mean by that is last night we had some folks over to watch the Super Bowl with us, and someone was sharing their love for Olipop soda. I've never tried it, but I've seen it in the stores. And I said, oh, that goes buy one, get one at Publix, and used the item search that is on Southern Savers. I'll show you that in a minute. And was able to tell her, hey, that was buy one, get one on January 8th. Odds are it's going to be buy one, get one again around March 8th. That's about an 8-week window, not a 6-week. But why do I know that? I know that it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. And typically we see a shorter window, a shorter sales cycle window on items that have a lot of competitors. So some of them it's even smaller, like Kellogg cereal. I'm going to see that on sale at a great price, sometimes even like every 3 to 4 weeks. Its big competitor is General Mills, and so they're just constantly battling each other, right? The more competitors that a brand has, usually the more often we see sales. The fewer competitors that a brand has, sometimes it's they're themselves, no one else makes their product, the less we see sales. And that tends to also be that it's the smaller the brand. And the tinier the brand, the less that they have the funds to even run those sales and promotions. So as I was telling her, we're probably looking at an 8-week sales cycle on that next buy one, get one sale for this Olipop soda that she was raving about. So that kind of helps you to learn that. A 6 to 8 week sales cycle on pretty much everything in the grocery store. So if I go in today, I see that it's on sale, I want to get enough to last me 6 weeks. So kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you're like, okay, I got that. It's not actually that easy, right? It's going to take a little bit of changing the way that you grocery shop to just completely stop buying things that aren't on sale, or to completely focus on only the sale items, because the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to look at your buggy and realize, I don't know if I can make dinner from what is actually in the buggy. And that's the way it's typically going to be. I'm not planning my meals based on what is on sale this week. I am planning my meals based on what's in the pantry. So you're using the sales to restock your pantry, and you're planning your meals based on what you already have on hand. Maybe using the meat items that are on sale if we don't have a big freezer space. So sorry, I'm catching up on some of y'all's comments. Lily's already bringing in the Aldi aisle of shame. That's the second reason to maybe avoid Aldi for me. It can be a definite, a big one to just act like it doesn't even exist because you end up with things in your buggy you weren't expecting. Okay, so with the sale cycle, I'm buying 6 weeks worth of what's on sale. Realize that that can be out to 8 weeks depending on what that product is. Now, how do I know what is on sale this week? When I used to teach workshops in person, I would always have somebody say, great, what number is this week? The weeks are not numbered. If you are just getting started, this is week 1. That's how easy it is. So you're gonna head in and you're gonna buy 6 weeks worth of what is on sale this week, 1 week worth of what you have to have. Or I'm gonna go to Aldi or Walmart or Lidl for those items. Those would be our 3 stores that do not run a sale model. They are only giving you the low price model. And I put low prices in kind of like air quotes because they're not on sale. That's just their everyday price for these items. So you have to be okay with that. Now, how do I know what's on sale? This is where Southern Savers comes in, guys. So not much has changed here. We're still giving you a list of what is on sale every week in the grocery store. So you head to the site, at the top of the site, find the grocery store that you want to shop at, and you're going to see all of the items that are on sale this week, along with any coupons that we know of. Now, through the years, though, the number of coupons for those items has definitely decreased. I will be the first to agree with you on that. But when you're looking at this list, just realize that everything that is here is a great price. Coupons or no coupons, you are still getting a great price on those items. So grabbing enough of whatever you need to last you 6 weeks would be, that's your start, whether I have a coupon or not. Now, I will say the ad that ends on Tuesday, it is not going to restock anyone's pantry. The Super Bowl ad is a really rough ad to have to meal plan around or restock your pantry with because it's like every variety of salsa and queso known to man. But this is also where if you go one tab over, I already have the next Publix ad up. So it's Monday night, but this ad doesn't even start until Wednesday in my area. It starts on Thursday in Florida. But you can click that little tab and immediately I'm looking at a different ad. I'm looking at the ad that's coming up in a few days so that I can get started making that list, deciding what it is that I need, and getting in my mind, okay, what would 6 weeks of those items be if I needed those particular items? So hopefully that helps. Use the list that is on Southern Savers to help you be able to spot that good price, especially as you first get started. And whether you keep letting the list hold your hand or you start to figure this out a little bit on your own, that part, I think, will become second nature. Because the minute that you start to only grab things that are on sale, you're really going to start to remember those sale prices. So for me, I don't want to pay more than 75 cents for a box of pasta. That's the buy one, get one sale price. Hopefully it's got an Ibotta offer like it did last week. Then I can pair in those extra savings and bring it down even further. So you're going to start to have those own prices in your head and an idea of what you are willing to pay for those items, whether you're using the list that's on Southern Savers or not. There is a list for most grocery stores in the South, though some of the tiny ones I have cut through the years, but most of our big stores are still there for pretty much any grocery store that you are wanting to shop at in the Southeast. So use that list, buy 6 weeks worth of what is on sale. That isn't a lot. Let me just pause there for a second because that, I think, is where we have, I don't know about you guys, but I have so many people that will share friends or share photos that they see of people who like literally cannot park in their garage because they've bought, 70 bottles of laundry detergent. You're going to do that much laundry in the next 6 weeks? I'm not, and I have a big family. So many of these items to buy enough for 6 weeks means like 3, maybe 4. That would really be pushing it to eat something 4 times in the next 6 weeks. I would bet most of us have really about 10 meals that we rotate through in 6 weeks. 6 times 7, like really fast math here, 42 meals. That's 4 meals max that you're going to rotate through, assuming you never ate out, you never had a leftover night. You get the idea. So if you don't have 10 meals, maybe you should sit down and jot a list. What are my go-to meals? If I were to buy enough for 6 weeks, about how many do I need? That's a great way to get started. For us, it typically means 3, maybe 4 of an item. Now, there are some exceptions. So if you spot me in Publix and the big 28-ounce cans of tomatoes are buy one, get one, this was just last week, you may spot me putting 6 cans of canned tomatoes. That's 28-ounce cans. When they go buy one, get one, we end up with that 28-ounce can for around like 90 cents. Well, that equals 45 cents for that individual size can that we would normally grab somewhere else. You're not going to find that price. That's my favorite sale. And canned tomatoes is in spaghetti sauce and chili. So sometimes our ingredient items, yes, you may end up with a few more of that, but 8 cans of canned tomatoes is not going to break my budget. So I don't want you to panic and think, how in the world am I going to afford 6 weeks of groceries today? You're not. You're going to try to get 6 weeks worth of what's on sale this week, which isn't everything you eat. And it will work out because we're really talking 3 maybe. And we have a big family. It might even be less for you. Everyone is stocking up at a different amount. Don't go overboard here though. Those canned tomatoes will be back on sale. It is not the last sale that we're going to see for them. So please, you may your first couple of times because you're like, I don't know. You'll just take a while to eat them, but you'll learn to not do that again too. So really wanting just enough to last you that 6 week mark if you can. And Wendy, I do not cover Brookshires. That makes me, I don't even know what that one is. So it makes me wonder where it's based. As I look it up, it is in Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. I do not cover them. So we cover Kroger, which includes all the Kroger subsidiaries because they use the same ad and the same promotions across all 27 store or brands that they own, as well as Publix and a lot of the other big grocery stores. We used to cover H-E-B, but I lost the person that covered that store for me, so I don't cover any of the major Texas stores right now. I'm sorry. And I kind of forget, being in South Carolina, sometimes we get a little exclusive. Sometimes we don't really view the South as extending that far over, but I should include Texas a little bit more than I do. And Elizabeth, happy to have you from South Carolina too. It's very cold here tonight after basically being summer yesterday. So the joys of living in the South right now. Okay. We've hit a lot on my list so far, and we haven't even been live that long, hopefully I am not going too fast for you guys. Just a little out of practice, just flying through my my checkoffs on everything I wanted us to hit. But if you've got questions as we're going through, or I'm sharing something that seems very foreign to you and you want to argue with me, I'm okay with that too. I will be glad to answer any questions as we go through to help make sure that we're all on the same page. Believe me, I've heard every question that there is through the years, so you won't throw anything new at me, I promise. Okay, so we're gonna head in, we're gonna buy what's on sale, we're gonna get enough of it to last 6 weeks. Keep in mind, in all of this, I have not mentioned coupons yet. This is where the bulk of your savings is coming from, just following what is on sale. So a lot of last year, for example, just to keep it on a personal level, the reason we stopped Q&As originally, a lot of you know, is that my mom had a stroke, and I'm an only child. So when your parents when a parent who lives alone has a stroke and you're an only child, you get to step up and you get to fill a lot of those shoes that need to happen. But that meant for us that some things I had to let go of, and one of that was prepping a list. So I actually don't get coupon inserts anymore. I decided I was going to go 100% digital coupons and 100% mobile apps. And I've had a lot of folks email through the last year actually asking, do we still need to get inserts? And that's a question for you to decide. I needed to give them up in that time, but honestly, where we are now, I also feel like inserts become a week by week basis based on what's in them. But so many weeks we either don't have any coupons in the inserts, or I look at the list and kind of decide, I don't know that this is anything that I want. So if you want to do that, we actually share the lists with you every single week. So let me just show you where to look for that. But if you are on Southern Savers, every Wednesday afternoon we share this, and there's a big button right here that says Sunday Ads. So if you click that, you will see the preview of what's going to happen. So heads up, this past Sunday, there were no coupons in the paper, or what is coming, and we'll give you that full list of what will be in the paper that particular week. And you can make that decision as to whether or not those are coupons that you want, those are coupons that you find helpful, then grab a paper that week. But for me, I did at least stop having a standing subscription to inserts. This way I can make an educated decision as to whether or not I want a paper or I don't. But I found that so many of those insert coupons, they now come out as digitals. So a lot of even this past week, a lot of those CoverGirls and the Claritin and all the things that are in that Sunday paper, if I open up my CVS app or my Walgreens app, they're there. Would it be helpful to have a second one of those coupons? There's a lot of times that it would be helpful. And maybe that's when you decide to grab an insert that week. But for me, it just was cost savings to not keep getting them. I wasn't using that many of them, and a little bit of time savings in a crisis moment. But my husband, when I stopped doing that, was immediately like, whoa, you can't stop couponing. We need this. And so it was a reminder for both of us to be like, wait a second. For years, I've always told people that as long as we shop what's on sale, that we're still getting the bulk of our savings. And I want us all to remember that. Like, that is the key part here. As long as we're following what's on sale this week, you've already done a huge amount of savings on your grocery budget. It does mean not adding things to the cart that are not on sale. That part's hard. For me, that means that I try to shop by myself as many times as I can, because the people that come with me, they're not always on the same page. Just gonna say that. So maybe for you, it's leaving some people at home if you can. I usually have a kid in tow, but they know how this works. The kids know. So it's really the older people in the house, the unnamed older people, that if they go grocery shopping with me, I end up with things in the buggy that were not on sale. So focus on what's on sale, add in the coupons that you can, but don't throw yourself under the bus. Don't feel like you failed either just because you didn't grab a Sunday paper. There's a lot of other options. So let's talk about some of those other places and other places that you can hunt for coupons for sure. And Lily's chiming in and saying, yes, the digital coupons have come a really long way. I'm glad I'm not alone there. Lily hasn't bothered, I'm guessing you mean with inserts in a while. And it's just what she can handle. So let's talk digitals. Digital coupons, we do have a bunch of offers because every single store is giving you their own little bucket of coupons. So the best way to use a store's digital coupons are with the store's mobile apps. Now, you 100% can think ahead and pop online, go to Publix's website before you head to the store, load any digital coupons that you want before you head to the store. That is definitely a great way to be prepped before you go in or whatever store you're going to shop in. But as you are in the store, having the mobile app is how you're going to make sure that you don't miss any more of these offers. So with these digital coupons, I can load any of these that I want. There's no limit. So go to town, load them all. If you want to load them all, they're going to come off at the register. Every store that has digital coupons, they're going to come off at the register. And they are 99% of the time manufacturer's coupons. Now this means that if I were to go in the store and I found a coupon on the door in front of the Chobani for $1 off too, I cannot use these together. This is a manufacturer's coupon. The one on the door in the store is also a manufacturer's coupon. So I'm gonna need to decide which one I wanna use, or I'm gonna need to buy 4. I could do that if they were both $1 off too. But do keep in mind that I can't stack these. There are some offers that I can stack, but 99% of the digital coupons that we see are manufacturer's coupons, just so that we are naming them the right things. Now, in the store, so this is what it's gonna look like online, but I do wanna show you what it's gonna look like in the store. And to do that, we're gonna use a new feature here of smartphones. So it's kind of strange, but I'm like literally running my phone from the computer. It just can be a little slow. So to use these in the store, I do encourage you to have every store's app that you regularly shop at. I just keep all of mine in a little bucket. But the reason for this is that every store in my area, I can't speak for all of them in the country, but everyone in my area has a barcode scanner built into the app. It cannot get any easier than this. So if you're in the store and you see, hey, I wonder if this product has a coupon, all I have to do is click the app and use the barcode scanner. So in the search bar, and I don't have a way to really zoom here, but right here in the corner of the search bar is a box, and if I click that, it's gonna pull up a barcode scanner, which obviously isn't gonna work because we're on a pretend version of the phone. But I can load any of these offers too from the phone as well. It's just easier in that moment to use the barcode scanner. And literally, guys, give this to the kid that you brought to the store. Tell them, scan everything that goes in the buggy. Make sure that we don't miss an offer. While they're at it, have them scan it with another mobile app. So I can use a Publix coupon and other mobile apps that are out there. Now, Ibotta does have some stipulations. This coupon cannot be used with other coupons. And in some stores, they're not gonna stack. In other stores, they actually are gonna stack. We're gonna leave that one up to you. But it does not hurt to scan all the barcodes of all the products anyway. Just load them all, never hurts. So if you went in and Ritz crackers or buy one, get one, as long as I have clipped that offer, I am gonna get the cash back for these offers. And I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but this is another reason to be using your phone in the store. So I'm gonna pause. We'll come back to those Ibotta offers in just a minute. But we do have all of our store digital coupons. A couple things about digitals. They're only gonna come off in most stores one time. Meaning, I showed you that Chobani offer. If you did go in and you bought 4 Chobanis and you didn't have a paper coupon, your $1 off too is gonna just come off one time because you have one coupon. There are a couple stores that do have coupons that will apply multiple times. Lowe's Foods is one of those. Kroger will run special coupons that will be a limit of 4 or 5. Target will run those with their Target Circle offers. They'll work up to 4 times. But just so you kind of know that those exist. That is not all of their coupons though. So, just, I don't want you to run into Target and then get upset at me. It's really just certain coupons. So when we are looking at the offers that they have and you are going through all of those offers, I'm gonna pull up Target so that I can explain that to you here in a second. Come on, show me everything, Target. That's what I want you to show me. Sometimes they give you too much information to where you're just left wondering, where did you move things? The basics, that's all I wanna see. There we go. Okay, so with our Target Circle deals, for example, some of our offers in Target are sales. They work 4 times, but some of them are actually manufacturer's coupons. So if you see offers that are $1 off, $2 off, this is a one-time use coupon, but they do try to spell that out now. So you do see limit 1 manufacturer's coupon on that to help you get that it is actually different from some of the Circle offers. So Circle offers are % off deals. These are now auto applied. I don't even have to clip this offer. It's just gonna apply on everything that you purchase. And this is one that is buy one, get one 50% off on Annie's. But this actually is going to work on 4 products. So that's the difference here when I say that there are some offers that work multiple times and some that only work one time. It's really that some are store coupons and some are manufacturers, just so we're kind of clear on keeping those straight, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Oh, Lynn, that's great. I'm glad that you can join in too. Oh, and Cheryl says, just an FYI for everyone, Ingles Grocery has been offering 3 times the fuel points on purchasing groceries on Tuesdays and 4 times on Fridays. Those fuel points are great to use on gas. So thank you for that tip. Does Publix not advertise all of their BOGOs? Karen, that's a great question. And no, they do not. But since you asked, I will pull it up and show you. So she says, Publix, last week you noticed a ton of buy one, get one deals that were not on the Publix ad on Southern Savers. So this is a moment to just remind everyone, not only do I give you a heads up on that weekly ad, but I also usually late Wednesday night, first thing Thursday morning, it just depends on how long it takes to type it up, but I usually also give you a list of unadvertised deals. And this week, that buy one, get one section was huge. There were about 60 unadvertised buy one, get one deals. I'm still in the buy one, get ones, all unexpected buy one, get ones. Might even have been more, might not have counted correctly there. A ton of unadvertised BOGO deals. Most of that was this particular week at Publix. They focused so hard on the ad being Super Bowl related that anything that almost wasn't Super Bowl related didn't make the ad. So it is a huge reason if you work on getting that Publix list on Southern Savers done early, which go for it, load the coupons early, be set for the sale to start, to at least make a habit of coming back on Thursday morning and seeing what did I add. So I go to my Publix, I take a ton of pictures and then get those typed up and couponed so that we can post it for you guys. So you'll have both of those lists to work on, and then when you're using the list, you can actually add it to a save list. So you can keep adding things to your list that you had already started. If you like to shop on Wednesday, the first day of the ad, I won't have that for you because the only way I can get it is literally to go to the store the same way that you are. So it might mean on weeks like this that you end up making a second trip. But normally, I would say on a typical Publix week, I find maybe about 15, 20 extra BOGOs, nowhere near what this week was. So don't panic on that, but it can be things that you want. So there can be moments where you're like, yep, that made the list, I'm going back. But there can also be times that you're gonna look at that unadvertised list and be like, I'm good. I didn't need any of that. I'll just wait until the next time it's on sale, which works too. Okay, so Stacy says, I live in an area with almost every store. We won't let the people who don't get upset at Stacy, but you have all the great stores. Based on that, how do I not shop at every store, but also feel like I've not missed sales? I love that question, Stacy. And I think that is one where I would encourage you to make sure that even in your shopping, that you're still setting a budget for yourself of what your grocery total budget is going to be. Because if we do try to hit every sale that is out there, there's a point where we actually aren't saving any money. We have way more products than we used to have. So we did save money, but we didn't save ourselves any money. So I would encourage you, if you feel like that's where you are, like you're like, I'm getting all these deals, you're old school at this, that you try to tack on a challenge level for yourself. And you say, okay, I'm okay with going to multiple stores. Maybe you are, they're all right there for you. Then say, this week, I'm gonna aim to not spend, I don't know, I'm gonna throw out a number, but you can, make your own number. I'm not gonna spend more than $125 this week across all the stores. And make that challenge. Make it a fun challenge. Like, hey, I'm going to put it on a gift card and I'm going to see. And when the gift card runs out, I'm done. I'm done finding the deals. If anything, that's going to help you really fine tune, what do I actually need? You may look in your pantry and realize, you know what? I got like 12 weeks worth of some of these things and they're back on sale this week, I can skip those deals. For me, I shop Publix and Lowe's Foods because I walk both of them to give you guys the unadvertised deals. I think I probably would still shop both of those stores because I get different things in each one. Lowe's Foods is a very expensive store. It's a very fancy. Like you can literally get a glass of wine and walk around the store if you wanted to. It's just that level of store. But because it is fancy, it doesn't have as many shoppers. And that comes into my favor. If there are not as many shoppers in a store, I'm going to find some really great clearance deals. So if you see me checking out in Lowe's Foods, I think the cash register folks are usually like, every single thing has a sticker on it. That's all I'm doing. I am just walking around and having fun. Grabbing clearance produce and clearance meat is the bulk of what we will get there. Clearance bakery. So that is my clearance store. And Publix is my regular grocery store. And that works well for us. Most of our produce now comes from Lowe's Foods. And sometimes even my meal planning comes from what I can grab. Hey, I got 6 bell peppers today for $2. We're having fajitas this week, so a lot of times I'll actually wait to meal plan in between those two stores. I will go to Lowe's Foods first. I will see what kind of produce I can find. And then I will finish my shopping in Publix and meal plan in the car before I head into Publix, just to make sure that mentally I know I'm good on any small items that we might have to have. So I don't know if that helps any, but just picking 2 stores has been a big one for me to try to just avoid the others. It's a rarity that I head into Target. There will be some great deals there, but most of those Target deals I can get in the drugstore. So I will shop CVS or Walgreens, and then I will shop Lowe's Foods and Publix, if that helps. But the fun challenge of trying to stick to a budget is going to help you. You're going to realize I just got a lot more in savings by doing that. But it's probably also going to help reduce the number of stores that you're headed into as well. Okay, so let's hit all of the other options for coupons really quick. So I talked about digital coupons. Printables are still out there. Printables still work the same way. You're still going to be limited to the number that you can print per computer. So don't break that. They've got a lot of security features in them. We have a lot of stores that cringe when you bring them in. So stick with that and don't try to bend the rules. We do have a lot of other mobile apps. So I had pulled up Ibotta very briefly, and I will go through that just to explain the concept. But I think next week we're actually going to hit mobile apps as a whole. That's just going to be our night. So I won't go through all the ins and outs, but as a whole, these mobile apps like Ibotta, Fetch, Checkout 51, these I want you to view more like a rebate that you just don't have to mail in. I am not going to see the discount at the register. Instead, I'm going to get this discount really after I get home. I'm going to submit a picture of my receipt, or some of these stores, they do all the work for you. You do have to load the offer, but then they say, yep, she bought it, and I'm going to get that money back in my Ibotta account. When I have enough saved up, I'm going to be able to cash that out in gift cards and a direct deposit to PayPal. There's a lot of options. Most of them, I would recommend that you stick with being receipt-based and not direct linked. So what I mean by that is if I want to redeem my Publix offers, I still have to come in and submit a receipt. Still have to take a picture. Publix doesn't allow you to direct link, but some stores do. So CVS, for example, is one store that I could direct link my CVS card. You know what, just stick with taking a picture. It helps the receipts or the offers to work better. It helps you to not run into some issues. It can sometimes get grumpy if it thinks you used a coupon, but maybe you didn't. But the offer's going to be gone. I know just a couple weeks ago, somebody sent me a message and said, Jenny, this offer's not in Ibotta, and you're telling me it is. And I said, if you used a coupon in the store, there's a chance that the Ibotta is actually going to not even show up. And so as soon as she unlinked her account, the Ibotta offer was there, right, in her account. So that is a big one. It's okay to take pictures. It takes 1 minute to take those pictures versus having them be direct linked, but you're in control and you know that you're getting the offers that you actually purchased I like that. I like having a little bit of control over these. So again, these are like a rebate that I didn't have to mail in. And then once I have enough money saved up, I can get it out. So very simple. But really, in many stores, I'm going to end up using Ibotta's or Fetch offers with other offers. So you may head into the store, Pillsbury Baked Goods or buy one, get one in Publix this week. We've got a Publix $1 off 2 digital coupon. I can use that. And I can submit my receipt to Fetch and get another bit back from Fetch Rewards as well. So we'll go into how all these apps work next week. Apps are always a big one, and they end up making a lot of questions for folks, but they are one of the biggest ways that we're saving. So using your phone, putting your phone to work is going to be a big one. And then our typical rebates are still out there too. So we do still have online rebates that are available. And I try hard, guys, to keep these in the database that is on Southern Savers. So I would encourage you to start there if you're looking for it. But you can type in the words online rebate, and any that we know of will pop in. Right now, for example, this is one that is running in Walgreens. When you buy Aveeno, Neutrogena, these are all made by Johnson & Johnson. And you submit your receipt, you're going to get back Visa gift cards. We see these for a number of our big brands. Procter & Gamble is almost running one of these, what feels like every other month. We will see Johnson & Johnson run them. A lot of times we see more at the beginning of the year, especially when this one's all geared towards healthy resolutions. So we will have periods where there may not be as many. We're currently in one of like the top peak periods for them. So that will end the end of February. Really, resolution period has ended for everyone. I don't know how many of you are still working hard towards your New Year's resolutions, but most of the world gave up a number of weeks ago. So this guy seems kind of silly at this point. It's going to end February 28th. We'll see a lot of the current offers drop off, usually at the end of February. Then we'll see another little bunch of them around Easter. Easter is really late this year, so you'll see another bunch of those online rebates, though, for most of the month of April. And kind of rotate through. We'll see another bunch around back to school, so on. So they tend to be more time period specific. They're trying to capitalize on like a certain event or just certain things that are going on in your life for those online rebates. Those stack as well with coupons. So if I went into the store and I used a digital coupon, I used Fetch Rewards, I could still submit those online rebates if they were also available for the products that I was grabbing. Okay, I had a couple more things that I wanted to hit on in terms of just key ways to cut your grocery budget. And the first one is, let's talk about bulk. So I know so many folks who love Costco and Sam's, and that is where they want to do like at least 80% of their grocery shopping. That's not where you're going to actually find a significant savings on your grocery. So the larger the package is not typically the better the deal. Really and truly, the larger the package, the less we see it on sale. So we're going to see that gigantic bottle of detergent maybe on sale like $1 or $2, but the tiny bottle of detergent, that regular size detergent, sometimes we're going to see that almost 40% off, 50% off for some brands. So that smaller size is sometimes the better deal, many times the better deal. If you feel like being a math person and you want to start to compare units, go for it. You will quickly see that this is how it works out. Another example would be like toothpaste and grabbing that twin pack of toothpaste. That would never be what you want to grab. If I'm heading into the drugstore, I'm going to get regular toothpaste for free or maybe 50 cents a box. I'm not going to walk in and get that twin pack at 50 cents a tube. I'm going to get that twin pack for $3 or $4. And that's going to be a significant deal that you're going to have to pull off just to get that $3 or $4 price. So that's just a couple of examples, but we see the same thing grocery-wise too. So if I'm going to head into Costco and I'm going to get 2 of the largest bottles of ketchup ever made, that does not mean that I got a great price, because the regular size bottle of ketchup, buy one, get one, might cost like $1.25. So in the end, I don't think that your gigantic bottle is going to hit the price that regular size bottle hit, nor do I think you're going to eat that much ketchup. But just to hit that one, I know that's another can of worms for folks, and that some folks that love their Costco and love their Sam's, they'll start to jump on me, but it is what it is. The same with our paper goods, our detergent there. Just because it's the largest size package doesn't mean it's the deal. So don't always be gung-ho on that warehouse club. There are things that you can totally grab there. I've actually done posts like the 10 things to grab at Costco or the best prices to grab in the warehouse clubs. But most of the things there, I would hold off on and stick with the things that are on sale with the grocery store for sure. And Lily, I'm with you. So we were watching the Super Bowl last night too, and both me and my husband, we pulled up Fetch. We tried. We didn't win. I don't know. If any of y'all won, though, that would be pretty sweet, watching all those names go by. But we did attempt to be one of the 120 people last night that won $10,000 from Fetch. So go Fetch. I don't want to know how much that costs for them to even just run the ad. But it was fun to see, wasn't it? And to realize, like, some of us have been using Fetch for years. But fun to see that they're running an ad. So bulk versus regular size, we hit that one. I'm stepping on a lot of toes for some people, I know, but it's good to at least be reminded of these things. Another big one is house brands. So I know a lot of folks will walk into Publix and think, oh, everything's overpriced here, and you'll just focus on house brands so that you feel like you're saving money. You're not. That house brand is never going to equal the sale price of the name brand product. Cereal is a great example. I can get cereal for $1.50 this week. That is not only in the grocery stores. There's a couple grocery stores that have them on sale, but it's actually in the drugstores. They will break our little things you don't eat rule, specifically on cereal. That's the one thing that they'll break. $1.50 for Kellogg's and General Mills. We see it on a regular basis. You are not going to walk in and find house brand cereal for $1.50 in any grocery store. So enjoy the national brands. If anything, your kids are going to become kind of national brand snobs, and they'll go to someone else's house and be like, ooh, you eat house brand cereal? I just want to try to save these people from their house brands, but it isn't going to be the deal. There can be some exceptions, and at the same time, if I'm completely out of something and it is not on sale, then yes, the house brand can be the option so that we are getting the cheapest item that we have to have right now. But on a good week, when we're trying to follow all the rules, I'm going in, I'm buying what's on sale, I'm buying only what's on sale and enough to last me until it's back on sale, then hopefully I don't need those house brands. They are really your moment of being like, I screwed up. I didn't buy enough, or I have to have it and it's not on sale. So they're your like shame moment. Let's try not to add them into the cart if we can. We are getting a slight discount over the regular price, full price of those other items, but we're just not getting the sale that we could have gotten had we been able to follow the sale cycle. And I'm glad I'm not alone. It would have been pretty awesome though if any of you guys had one. That would have been pretty great. Okay, so I wanted to hit three things too for folks that have either been couponing for ages, or maybe you're kind of in that like everything's changed and nothing's great about couponing. I wanted to hit some things that haven't changed. So in all these years, even in all these years of no Q&As, there are still 3 stores in the Southeast that double coupons on a regular basis. They have not changed their policies. So Harris Teeter, Lowe's Foods, and Ingles still double coupons. They do have rules around them. Ingles has more rules than the other 2, but they still follow the same rules they've always had. Competitor coupons, Publix still takes competitor coupons. I actually used a very sweet $18 off any $120 purchase coupon that Kroger had sent me. Thank you, Kroger. I don't shop at Kroger, but I will gladly take that guy to Publix and use it at Publix. I mean, that was almost it was over really 10% of my Publix bill to be able to use that Kroger coupon there. With competitor coupons, do know that it is based on that store. So literally, if you don't have a Kroger within 100 miles, they're not going to take it. So each store will decide who is a competitor to that store. Some of them will use like a 5-mile radius rule. So if you're not sure, a lot of them actually have a poster as you come in who's a competitor for that store. Or you can always ask, hey, do you take this store's coupons? And I would actually encourage you to do that even with stores that don't normally take competitor coupons. It never hurts to ask. A lot of times they're going to have to get a store manager. For example, Lowe's Foods as well. I mentioned Food Lion and Publix there, but Lowe's Foods, they will take Publix's coupons. They will take Kroger coupons as well. Most of the time, the cashier is scared to death that they're going to do something wrong in that moment, though. So they are going to get a manager and just be like, hey, do we take these coupons? And the manager is going to say yes. But in other stores, it still doesn't hurt to go in and ask them too. Hey, I have a Kroger coupon, but I would love to shop here. Would y'all take this Kroger coupon as a competitor? You might be surprised. I mean, what's the worst they can do? Say no. You can still shop there. They're not going to kick you out. But you at least took the chance to try because it's where you were today. So always see if they will take it. I hope that you'll be pleasantly surprised and they will take it. But there are a number that will automatically take it. They're not going to cringe or get upset at you at all. And then the other one to remind you on is catching pricing errors. So this is not something that for some people comes naturally. You're not thinking all the time what something costs, and that's okay. But in the back of your mind, you should at least know everything I'm buying is on sale today. So if you're watching that screen and something rings up and it's not on sale, that at least needs to be a red flag for you. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure that was on sale and it did not ring up on sale. So catching these errors not only is saving you money, and I've got some big ones in my day, even Lowe's Foods, meat that was supposed to be buy 2, get 3 free, and it didn't ring up that way. You're talking at that point, sometimes $20 that just got put back in your pocket. If you have to go to customer service, go to customer service for it, but it's well worth it for you and keeping your budget. But one store in particular, this is really important, and that's Publix. So if you can catch a pricing error in Publix, you actually get the product for free. So Publix has a pricing guarantee, meaning if it does not ring up correctly at the register the way it is supposed to ring up, then you are going to get one item for free. Now, if you have 10 in your buggy, you're not going to get 10 for free, but you're going to get the first one for free, and they're going to go ahead and correct the price for the other 9, but it's still a fun thing to catch. So that's the easiest way to spot it, even if numbers aren't your game. You're at least watching that screen and knowing that everything should show some sort of discount. And then when it doesn't, you're like, hey, hold up there, and go back and figure out what was wrong. So always looking for those pricing errors is a big one on your grocery budget. And Lily, well, I'm with you, Lily, because that's what I'm doing already, is looking for unadvertised deals. So these people think I'm a little nuts when I'm like, hold up, I got a picture of that. And I'm scrolling through and showing them a picture for literally everything in the buggy. I would love to know what they think I am doing because they don't know who I am. So this is the weird lady who takes pictures in the grocery store, but it does help. So, for anyone that wants to do it, if you want to get in the habit of taking pictures in the grocery store, go for it. It'll save you some time at the register for pricing errors for sure. And Karen, I love it. Karen says, I stop by Winn-Dixie on my way to Publix and see if I can get a 4 off 40 to print from their coupon kiosk. That is awesome. Making that stop into that coupon kiosk. Food Lion in some areas still has those as well. If anyone's near Food Lion, swinging in, seeing what kind of competitor coupon you can get, and then popping over to Publix to use that coupon it's a great way to save some extra. And Anna says she did the buy 2, get 3 at Food City on cheese and was charged for all of them. You should pop back in and definitely get them to correct it and give you that money back or put that money back on your card for sure. And Amanda, thank you too. Amanda's saying too to also watch that pricing error on clearance items. Clearance items can sometimes be the biggest one to watch. It depends on how the store clearances out items. So in some stores, they won't even ring up correctly because they've been taken out of the computer. Publix, this can be a problem. Other stores, they will try to cover up the old barcode and put on a new clearance barcode. But sometimes the person sticking stickers on didn't cover up the old barcode. So that's a big one in Lowe's Foods, or anyone that has kind of my goal of, this is my clearance store. This is all I'm doing is just shopping the clearance deals. I've become the expert of just watching them scan, because if they're in their kind of their groove, they're just scanning barcodes and they're not noticing that clearance sticker. So if someone didn't put both on there, one over the old barcode and then the new one with the clearance price, I'm going to end up paying full price. So yes, definitely watching your clearance deals to make sure that it rang up correctly is huge. Oh, and Lily, yes. So let's go there. That's a great one. I talked a little bit about how some stores have store coupons that we are going to stack with our manufacturer's coupons. And Publix is one that does still give us a good batch of store coupons. So those store coupons, for example, are in Publix's extra savings flyer. And with that, you can find it online. You can also grab it in the store. But to find it, go to the weekly ad on Publix's site, and then at the bottom, you'll find the extra savings flyer. In this flyer, there are store coupons. And these store coupons, if you have a store that will take competitor coupons, these come in pretty handy. So to give you one, you still have time. It's Monday night. Guys, y'all should just stick these in the freezer. I won't tell you how many are in my freezer right now. Where is our coupon? I think I went too far. Oh no, Publix and we get a little grumpy on a Mac. So there is a coupon in here. Oh, actually there's not. I forgot that we just switched to a new extra savings flyer. There was a coupon that went beautifully with all of the BOGO King's Hawaiian rolls, and I stocked up on that. But sorry, I will stop trying to show you a particular deal. Let's say that you grabbed any of these offers, though, that $1.50 off R.W. Knudsen, and then I walked into Food Lion, or I walked into Lowe's Foods, or another store that takes competitor coupons, they would take that Publix coupon. That's actually a huge way to get some extra savings, because Publix is usually pretty smart. And when they give us one of these coupons, they don't usually put them on BOGO. Now, they did put King's Hawaiian on BOGO, so anyone that shopped earlier in the week before that coupon ended, you got a really fun deal on some King's Hawaiian products. But normally that doesn't happen. So because Publix is not going to put this on sale while they have a coupon out for it, they're kind of viewing this coupon as the sale. It's a great opportunity to take this somewhere else that hopefully does have it on sale. And then I can get an extra discount on top of the sale. So great way to get that extra savings. And thank you for that reminder, Lily. So this is on Publix's site. You'll also find it right near the weekly ads. So if you aren't a Publix shopper, but you are going to turn around and go to Food Lion or Lowe's Foods or another store that takes Publix competitors, Harris Teeter, there's a few options for sure. You could still run by Publix and grab one of these. They're good for 3 weeks when they come out. So grab one of them, have it, and be ready for any deals that popped up in the store that you prefer. If that is the case, they are right inside the door by the weekly ad, so not hard to grab. A lot of those stores will not take, you can print these from Publix's website, but a lot of them will not take the printable as a competitor. So just be ready to get the original from that flyer in case the store gets a little grumpy by the printable. That's a great tip. Thank you, Lily, for that one. Okay, that is the bulk of what I had for us tonight on just the basics of cutting the grocery budget. So to recap really quick, we buy what's on sale, which is only the things that are typically 40% off or more. That's what we're focusing on. That list that is on Southern Savers, anything that is on the list, fair game. 6 weeks worth of what is on sale, 1 week worth of what you have to have. Next week, repeat. 6 weeks worth of what is on sale. Slowly, you're going to get your pantry stocked and ready to go. And you will be very set come 6 weeks from now. You will really see it all come together, Because you'd be like, hey, I don't need anything anymore. I'm just going to grab what's on sale. I can do this. This is very doable. If we've got some coupons to throw in, perfect. But in today's world, be okay with just focusing on what's on sale on some of these items too. There may not be coupons for everything. Be ready to scan barcodes with your store apps, your mobile apps to save a little bit of extra that you can on those things. But we're basically focusing on those sales. We're trying to be in the right store for the right items and then getting enough of them so that we're not having to buy house brands, we're not having to buy bulk, when we're able to actually buy that real sale, that big discount on those items. And I will be on tomorrow. I know you're going to get tired of me now, twice a week. I will be back on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That's when we've been doing the drugstore video. So I'll be back on at 3 o'clock to go through all of the deals that are running at CVS and Walgreens this week. It's a new CVS ad. It's a fun CVS ad. So I even was sitting there trying to film a very quick little video to put on social as well of all the things that I grabbed in CVS today. So I will be there with all the CVS deals live tomorrow at 3 on YouTube or Facebook. And then we'll be back next Monday night. We're going to talk mobile apps and a number of them. So couponing as well as just saving apps that I would recommend. Kind of, the put your phone to work Q&A. So join me for that. I'm also happy to take any Q&A topics that you guys want. It's been a long time. So if there's just been something that you're like, oh, I wish I could ask Jenny these questions, ask. Tell me what you want Q&A topics on. Send me Facebook messages, send me emails. Happy to work it into the routine. So we will be back every Monday night at 8:30. We've even kind of changed up the plan. So I've been stuck up in the attic basically, but that way we're not bugging anyone's routine over in the house. No one had to go to bed early or was injured in any way for Mama to do a Q&A. But we will be back every Monday night. So I'm glad you guys could join me tonight. Hopefully I answered all your questions. I didn't miss anything. It was really great to see all of you guys. And I will be back tomorrow with drugstore deals, or I will see you next Monday night. So y'all